Rockstar Games has introduced us to a significant number of characters who will play a part in the narrative of Grand Theft Auto 6. Beyond the already familiar main characters, who have also been more thoroughly introduced with the recent announcement of Grand Theft Auto 6, several additional supporting figures who will accompany the leads have now been unveiled. In this video, we'll see what Rockstar has told us directly about them, as well as what we can only uncover by thoroughly analyzing the images and shots from the trailer that contain hidden information about these characters and their involvement in Grand Theft Auto 6. We'll save the protagonists for last, but we'll start with a character very close to Jason. Brian is introduced as a drug lord from the golden era of the Florida Keys. Obviously, this golden era could coincide with the very first game set in Vice City. Well, no, not with the very first one, but you understand what I mean, with GTA Vice City. Although this character doesn't necessarily have to have appeared or been mentioned in the previous game. Firstly, due to the difference in universes, and secondly, because in the original Vice City, the Keys are not on the map. Brian allows Jason to live rent-free in one of his properties on the condition that he helps extort the residents. This could be seen in one of the scenes of Trailer 2, where Jason claims the money from a store clerk in one of the neighborhood stores. These missions might remind us of the debt collection missions Strauss gave the protagonist during the story of Red Dead Redemption 2. I just hope this time they don't breathe down our necks too much. He's married to his third wife, Lori, who is also involved in the business and seems to have a good relationship with Jason. However, we don't know much more about her except that she prepares sangria and Jason occasionally goes to drink it. These characters are known to be a main part of the game's start, when Lucia is still in prison and Jason is living that bachelor life, surrounded by beers and somewhat dark environments. At a certain point in the story, we will probably lose sight of this couple due to the story's progression, which will take the protagonists to another part of the map to develop other plot lines. This moment will possibly be shown in Trailer 2 with this scene. It's Brian who's telling Jason that the police have all of their data, and this is probably what will force us to flee the area, perhaps to another city such as Port Gellhorn, Ambrosia, or perhaps even directly to another state that has been the subject of much speculation in recent days, the mysterious state of Gloriana. Raul Bautista is, without a doubt, the character with the most aura of all those they have presented to us. This kind of blend between Michael DeSanta and Arthur Morgan will be the expert bank robber who will drag us into the most significant and daring heists of the story. GTA 6 may not be as heavily focused on bank heists as GTA 5, but these will still form a very important part of the game. And of course, they'll be completely on par with the previous installment. This character will be the one responsible for escalating these robberies, as they will become increasingly reckless with each successful score, until their crew, quite literally, has to make the crucial decision of whether to double down or simply fold and walk away from the game. This final phrase, quoted literally from the Rockstar presentation, is probably announcing a moment in the story where we'll have to decide if we should pull off one last big hit with him, which will likely end very badly for the protagonists, but with a great reward, or to retire and continue with another part of the story. Most likely, this will also be the end of Raul Bautista's storyline. In recent weeks, there's been talk that the actor for this character could be Oscar Jaenada, a Spanish actor who, after the rumors emerged, uploaded this photo to his Instagram, which, of course, further fueled the buzz already circulating about his participation in GTA 6. In my opinion, and as I've always said, when there are rumors about an actor's involvement in GTA 6, and they fuel them instead of staying quiet, for me, it's automatically debunked. Because Rockstar's confidentiality agreements and the secrecy of their projects are so extreme that I don't even think they're allowed to make these kinds of hints before the game's release. Some supporting actors in Red Dead Redemption 2 already spoke about how Rockstar's secrecy is so high that they aren't even told what game they're working on. Obviously, in a game like Red Dead Redemption, it's much easier for them to discover it just from the names and the script's context, since it's the same story as the previous game. But GTA 6 is neither a sequel nor a prequel. Its story and characters are completely new and different from all the others in the entire series. It's very possible that, especially the game's secondary characters, didn't even know what they were working on until filming was well underway. The best example we have of what I've said before, we see it with the currently rumored actors for Jason and Lucia. Despite knowing that everyone is talking about them, they are keeping quiet because if it's really them, they don't need to provoke those interactions by giving clues before the release. They know they'll become famous once the game comes out. They don't need any subtle hints or references like other fake Jasons did when it was rumored they were working on GTA 6, and obviously they knew it wasn't true. In their case, they really need to milk all the fame and interactions they can get because they know it's not true and that when the game comes out, the whole truth will be revealed, thus exposing their big lie. That's why they're making the most of this moment. In any case, we can't know if Oscar Hayanada is Raul Bautista's actor, so all that's left is for you to leave your opinion in the comments. The Real Teamers duo includes two characters. Velus and Roxy will be influencers in the game's plot. We are well aware that the Grand Theft Auto series offers a satirical parody of our modern world, and given all the extensive time that has passed without a new GTA installment, it became quite evident that storylines involving social media influencers would feature very prominently in the upcoming Grand Theft Auto, especially when we consider the significant level of importance this particular aspect holds in our actual real-world lives. Velus and Roxy, friends since high school, are now social media sensations after releasing their first hit song with rapper Don Please. And all of this takes place 5 years prior to the main events of the game. Currently, their storyline will be connected to the group of characters I'm about to introduce, as during the plot, they'll sign with Only Raw Records, a recording studio, hoping to recapture that past success. It was pretty much a given that GTA 6 would feature that GTA Online-style plot element, the presence of the oh-so-very typical subplot involving recording studios and rappers, which are, in reality, nothing more than thinly veiled promotions for Rockstar's own record label, Circo Loco Records, which, by the way, absolutely no one in the world actually cares about. Clearly, they were bound to find their little niche within the GTA 6 storyline. Unfortunately, this part of the story is quite possibly the most similar to those missions we've been enduring for years and years in GTA Online, with every single nightclub or recording studio they implement into the game. From the 2022 leaks, we know that Drek Wampriest is a friend of Bobby, who then introduces him to Jason and Lucia. This is how all these different storylines will eventually connect. In his early days, he used to sell magical laughing substances on the street just to make ends meet, always with the ultimate goal of reaching the very top in the world of music. He would then go on to work with Bobby, hiring artists for his shoe store. This is Bobby, the owner of Jack of Hair, or the main shoe store in the game, the one in Vice City, you know. Besides being a businessman, he's also a real estate speculator and owner of a recording studio, Only Raw Records, mentioned earlier. The club's money funds the studio, and the money from the magical substances funds everything else. This is how Rockstar, verbatim, explains how his empire functions. But the only thing I care about with this guy right now is that his collaboration with Drek Wampriest, who heads Only Raw Records, goes well. And that collaboration would also include the Real Demons, previously mentioned, who have just been signed by Drek Wampriest to work in the studio and release their new hit. My only request is that the missions be entertaining, because for me, these kinds of storylines personally feel a bit tedious and hard to grasp. Now we come to one of the very best characters, in my humble opinion, of course. Cal is Jason's best friend, and the sheer number of great moments that this character seems poised to give us throughout the story makes him a truly significant focus for this particular analysis. Cal has what it takes to shine in the GTA 6 cast. I'd venture to say he's a perfect blend, bringing together the best traits from many characters we've seen in previous games. He has a redneck vibe, showing a hick side, predominant in his personality and sense of humor, something that strongly reminds me of Roman from GTA 4. But on the other hand, much of his personality is conspiratorial, as we've seen in many characters from the saga who also left their mark, but perhaps they never got as close due to their mysterious pronouncements that kept him away from the protagonist's inner circle. In this case, the UFO nut will be like our brother, our goofy brother, and I'm sure that will leave a lasting impression on the player, of course, given his unique charisma and his current fondness for video games. Cal works with Jason in Brian's magical substance business. Obviously, he won't be directly involved in the action like the main protagonist, but instead will have an office role, listening to Coast Guard communications from his home, those who would become our adversaries in the initial missions involving magical substance trafficking. In a smaller detail, Cal has a tattoo that says, "Do not resuscitate," which could be foreshadowing his sad end in the plot of GTA 6. Or perhaps it's just a simple tattoo with no significant meaning. The protagonists now begin the final stretch of the video. First, with Jason, we have a main character who once again has a past in the military. This won't be the first time in the saga that we control a protagonist who has been a soldier. We can even notice a tattoo that could be related to one from a paratrooper platoon. Jason would join the army to leave behind a youth spent among con artists and delinquents, but it proved to be of little help. as he ultimately found himself in the thick of things, working with Brian. His presentation concludes with, perhaps the time has come to try something new, thereby ushering in the next chapter of his life and the GTA 6 story, with far more significant and dangerous assignments. Lucia is presented to us as a fighter, not in the professional sense, but as a young girl who, from a very early age, had to fight for her family. Her father taught her how to fight as soon as she could walk, and later she would end up in prison precisely for fighting for her family. What we've been told about this character is somewhat confusing. At one point they clarify that her mother is from Liberty City, but she ends up imprisoned in Leonida for defending her family. This is even more complicated if we include Jason's letter and the point where they meet, and things become even more perplexing when we learn how she manages to get out of prison by a sheer stroke of luck. Lucia's story is, without a shadow of a doubt, the most bizarre and chaotic of the two. In any case, the female protagonist's intention aligns with the male protagonists to change their lives for the better and live peacefully, which of course won't happen. At no point does he mention how or when he met Lucia, but he does make it clear that their relationship could be the best or the worst thing that has ever happened to them. During the introduction of both characters, it's made quite clear their relationship will be a double-edged sword, and this opens up a very interesting narrative door for an ending where we can decide if we stick with the other until the end, or betray them from either side. Although we'll save that for a future video about the plot possibilities of GTA 6. This was GTA 6 Universe. Don't hesitate to tell me what you think in the comments. Your opinion on the subject interests me. If you like the content, don't hesitate to subscribe and like the video. It would bring great support to the channel. As for us, we'll see you very soon for another exclusive video.